Good morning, everyone. Lauren McLaughlin here, and welcome to the APP SoCal Classic. We are here for the Head Pickleball pregame show at the gorgeous Bobby Riggs Tennis and Racket Center here for the SoCal Classic. I can feel the ocean breeze just a mile away, which feels amazing. We have our Chavile VIP balcony set up. It's going to be an amazing weekend of pickleball, and we are, of course, kicking off today with our mixed pro doubles. We have a match coming up next. It's going to be Etta Wright and Pesa Tioni, who upset Michelle Esquivel and Rafa Hewitt in their previous match. They're going to be taking on Paris Todd and Alex Newman. But of course, many amazing pairings that you're going to see here today. Tomorrow will be our coverage of men's and women's doubles, followed by singles on Sunday. There is no championship Sunday this weekend, so every day we will play all the way through our gold medal matches. We are streaming on Facebook and YouTube, so thank you so much for joining us wherever you are this weekend. We look forward to having you with us and watching some amazing pickleball action. I'm going to be joined in the booth this weekend by Daniel Roditi. So we will take a short break here. Follow along in our brackets on pickleballtournaments.com if you want to see where your favorite team is at and when they're going to be playing. We'll keep you guys updated, of course, who's coming up next on championship court as we work through our day. But don't go anywhere. We are here in Southern California, and we are super excited for our 2-weekend pickleball run. We're in LA next weekend, but don't go anywhere. We'll take a short break and back into the action right after this. And we are back here on our center court, right next to the Bobby Riggs Tennis and Racket Center. Lauren McLaughlin here with Daniel Roditi. Daniel, welcome. You were just making a tear through the APP tour, commentating these last couple of weekends. You're not taking a break at all.
That's what happens when you can't play anymore.
Oh, no.
You jump in the booth.
We miss you playing. That's so sad. Are you done forever? Have you retired? Or not officially?
No, not officially. Just doing less playing, more coaching, teaching, commentating.
Because you are always so fun to watch. I miss seeing you on the court. But not to worry, we have some absolutely amazing pickleball here coming up. As I mentioned in our Head Pickleball pregame show, we have Etta Wright and Pesa Tioni. They took down Allie Phillips and Walter Lowe in their first matchup and then took down Michelle Esquivel and Rafa Hewitt, 11-9, 11-8. So perhaps a bit of an unexpected result in that match. But Etta Wright, 29 years old, currently in Utah, attended BYU in Hawaii where she played tennis. Her partner, Pesa Tioni, 23 years old, in Phoenix, Arizona. He was born American Samoa and now has found pickleball. Oh, that bounced up big time. They, of course, are taking on first-time partnership here of Paris Todd and Alex Newman. Paris Todd, 24 years old. I'm pretty sure she's no stranger to anyone now.
Oh, everybody knows who she is now.
I know. She has made quite the name for herself recently. She has won the last 4 tournaments in a row that she has played in women's pro singles. And she was on the winning team of MLP in their first event of 2022. Alex Newman, 24, also from California originally, as is Paris Todd. So same age.
Yeah, both of them great singles players, of course, but certainly not bad at doubles. They're I'm excited to see how they team up, and I'm sure that we're going to probably see a lot of drives on their thirds, right, using their single skills. So I'm interested to see how this goes.
Todd and Newman took down Vicky Love and Brian Thiem in their first match, and then took out Susanna Barr and Matt Goebel in a tight 3-game match to get to this quarterfinal. Ooh, Wright was locked and loaded on that two-handed backhand.
She was ready. She was excited to hit that ball, just maybe too excited.
0-1-1.
That's a great speed up there at Pace's right shoulder. Just couldn't quite get the paddle on it.
You may have mentioned or seen Pace at Tioni left-handed out there, so mixes things up a little bit in terms of that middle coverage.
Yeah, and I think one of the things that you get when you have a lefty is you get the women going face-to-face, which is not, obviously when you have all righties, usually the women are cross-court diagonal from each other, so it's a different setup, and it's a different kind of adjustment for the ladies, since they're obviously wanting to hit at each other. So we'll see how that works for each team. Saw a little bit of that. I don't know how much Etta plays with lefties, but you see how she's comfortable going cross-court versus trying to go at Paris, and I don't know if that has something to do with it, or if she just prefers to maybe try to go behind Newman there.
It's really fun to see. These are all, although Paris Todd has just kind of come on like a force the last few months, all four of these players relatively new on the pro pickleball scene, which is so exciting to see as more players continue to come into the pro scene.
Right. If you think back to last year, I don't think, maybe Pesa was here, but I don't think Etta or Newman or certainly Paris, they weren't here last year. So it's just, it's exciting to see pickleball grow so fast and with younger players and just great skills. So it's exciting. It's an exciting time for the sport.
It is 4-1-2. Seems like we've seen a lot of pickleball being played already for only it being 4-1.
Yeah, I think we're going to see a lot of quick points, right? I don't anticipate long dink rallies with this foursome here. There's going to be a lot of speed ups, a lot of drives. It's a beautiful backhand. That's the one that she was looking at earlier and just missed, but she was locked and loaded for that one.
I can see in that replay, just all four of these players do such a great job of using that top spin.
Yep.
Hitting their shots with that top spin that causes the ball to dip down instead of sailing long.
2-5-1.
Oh, just a little short, little baby shot there from Newman. I think she thought it was coming much quicker. Yeah, very, very quick rallies here.
Yep.
definitely, I don't think we've seen a single really extended dink rally at all so far this match.
3-5-2.
Tioni.
Yeah, he's
sorry, go ahead.
rocking that spin serve.
Yeah, just about to say that. Yeah, it's hey, if you have it and you're allowed to use it, why not? If it's a weapon, just gives the returner one more thing to think about.
Oh, good attempt at a recovery there for Wright. And we're pretty close now on that score. We got a lot of people here at Bobby Riggs already this morning. Catching some good pickleball. I know we joke about a matrix move, but Paris Todd literally did the matrix move. That was a full layout on the back.
And we're starting to see some people use a third shot lob from time to time, which is very rare, especially at the pro level. But sometimes, it's just something different to throw up there. Also, depending on where the sun is, the wind, all that kind of stuff, players usually charge in pretty fast. So sometimes throwing a lob on the third has paid off for some players.
Just a smidge long there on Tioni's serve. They are the 13 seed as Todd and Newman are the 12 seed here today in mixed doubles.
Side out. 5-4-1.
Newman with his version of the spin serve.
So Todd looks at Newman. She thought that might have gone long. I thought it might have as well, but that's kind of one of those things that happens where a shot happens so fast, you don't have time to turn around.
Right. And then, you don't want to make a bad call, so you're hesitant to call that.
I mean, you can't call it out if you didn't see it.
Right,
so
exactly.
It's a tough spot.
Great job by Wright splitting them there.
Net cord sends that ball wide. It's so fun to see, too. I think a lot of people would perhaps turn on this match and, they at least recognize Paris Todd, Alex Newman maybe, and perhaps Wright and Tioni are new to them. But again, they took out Esquivel and Hewitt in their previous match, and you can see right here.
Right.
They have all the skills necessary. Just because you've never heard of a player or seen them before doesn't mean that they can't take out any of the best teams. Huge foot fault there for Alex Newman.
5-5-2.
I was curious. I couldn't see his feet, but I thought it looked like he was in there.
Side out.
Do you think it looks like both of these teams, their strategy is to play fast and aggressive?
I think so. I mean, I don't know if Etta plays a lot of singles, but obviously her being a tennis player, she's going to be comfortable driving the ball. She's going to be comfortable speeding up, and Pace is a great singles player as well. So absolutely, you're going to see a lot of that in this matchup for sure.
Ooh, big overhead there from Pesa Tioni.
Side out.
And we are tied up at 5s.
5-5-1.
I really loved what you said before, Daniel, that when you have a spin serve, it gives the receiver one more thing to think about. Because occasionally I'll watch someone with a spin serve and I think, that doesn't look that effective. It doesn't really look like it's doing anything. But you make such an amazing point that it's one more thing for your opponent to think about as they're returning it and can kind of throw off their rhythm or game, even if it's not, a Zane Navratil level kicking spin serve.
Yeah, because you're just unsure of what the ball's going to do. Sometimes it kicks a lot more than others. Sometimes it looks like it's not doing much. And so even that, you're like, is it going to move? Is it just going to stay the same?
Yeah.
So I know for me, not a fan of the spin serve. I've been a victim to it. In fact, I posted a TikTok looking silly, trying to return Morgan serve, just whiffing on serve, making me feel like I'd never played before. But so I'm not a fan, certainly on the. And plus, I don't know how to do it well. So
I mean,
that makes you not a fan.
That's never fun either.
Yes. But anything that can make your opponent think one more, fakes, people who like to poach. That's why sometimes people stand outside the court to slide in. I prefer the regular setup with the poach because it gives you the option of faking, which again, one more thing for them to think about as they're hitting their third. And so anytime you can make them think that.
Yeah, we see occasionally that lob serve as well.
Yes.
Some of the pros will throw up a lob serve. Again, we always talk about it, just it's something different look for your opponent. The mechanics are different, returning perhaps a lob serve versus one that's kicking at you. So it's good to have a couple different options in your serve belt, as it were. I think a lot of lower level players they have one serve and that's it.
Right.
Maybe work on a couple options. Mix it up a little.
Especially when people like to drive their returns, giving them a lob serve can be a great idea because then you can overhit it very easily.
So Wright and Tioni are out in front here in game one of this quarterfinal matchup with Paris Todd and Alex Newman. Let's see if Todd and Newman, who were ahead in the beginning, can try and lock this back in here and gain a little momentum.
Yeah, I'd like to see Newman. He's hitting some good drives at right, but not moving in immediately. And I'd like to see him just be a little more aggressive off of his drive as well as Paris off of his drives. That's a great shot. Paris choosing not to play singles in this tournament.
She's had a busy few weeks. She's been pretty busy, so I certainly don't blame her for taking off a little bit of time from the singles game. Yeah, and you could see Newman telling himself to calm down with that motion there. He took that from such a low position.
Yeah.
All the top spin in the world is not going to help too much if you're that low. Oh my gosh.
Oh, right back at you right there. There's your spin serve.
First of all, did you see how long he took to serve that? So the ref calls it. You have 10 full seconds. He just kind of stood there and almost like stared Paris down like he was like psyching her out a little bit. I kind of love that. I don't really see players do that at all.
Yeah, and I don't know if he was just trying to get the grip that he wanted, right? So he's maybe working on that as he's trying to set up. It worked against him, obviously. That spin ended up making the ball come back into the net off her return. Yeah, that was a great job by New mixing it up, right? He's been driving quite a bit, and he chose to drop that. I think that's a great idea for someone like Etta who's liking pace.
Oh, that's so nice.
Sitting on it, yeah. She loves that backhand.
Do you know what's interesting is I find in the last, 6 months or so, the game's always changing. The strategy's always changing. It looks different. And I'll wait till after this. That was a aggressive serve there from Newman.
8-7-1.
Yeah, I was watching, and I think that's what it was, right? He was trying to get the right grip, the one that he's looking for that serve.
8-7-2.
Oh, that stays in.
Wow.
Yeah, I definitely thought that was possibly long. Wow, such a nice deceptive
Yeah, we're going to see it
shot.
very similar to what Newman tried to do earlier, but Newman just put too much pace on the ball, whereas Tioni went for kind of an off-speed ball from down low.
Oh, nice pickup. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Oh, what a point. What a point.
Wow.
Incredible guts.
Oh, that was unbelievable.
Look at this. Lets it go,
and
runs
then
it down.
bounces out.
And then great job by Tioni moving in on that. As soon as Newman lets that ball drop, Tioni rushes the net.
Oh, that was great. And we have a timeout as a result, as Wright and Tioni now on a game point. I was going to mention, I don't know if you've noticed this as well as you're coaching or watching. It seems like, especially in the women's game, whether they're playing mixed or women, there's this kind of new strategy that they slide off the line a lot. And we used to see it a little bit. They gave themselves a little extra room, especially for, those drives, two-handed backhands. But I'm seeing it even more. Like they're coming even farther off the line.
Yeah.
And they're doing a lot more play in that transition zone, which
Right.
I think we used to, hammer home, like get on the line, get back to the line. If you get pushed back, get up there. But I'm just seeing a much more like comfortable level, especially with the women, of playing off that line. Like 2 to 5 feet.
Yeah, and I think you see less dink rallies on the women's side. Women like to speed it up quicker, sooner. The advantage of being at the line is you can take a hanging dink and attack it. But if there's not a lot of dinks, you're better off playing off the line. The other thing it does in mixed is that it allows a guy a little bit of space to jump in front.
Absolutely.
So that's another reason sometimes the women do it in mixed doubles, is that they want the guy to have room to be able to slide in if he sees a ball he wants to take.
Man, Newman and Wright were just slicing those backhand dinks, keeping them so low, getting a lot of angle on them.
That's a great job by Todd going behind Wright. Looks like she was expecting a middle ball, and she was kind of setting up on that forehand. Instead, Perez went behind her. Nothing she could do.
We're 1 point away from tying it up here at 10s. Ooh. Good communication there from Todd and Newman. Oh, just a little miss hit there from Tioni on that.
Almost like
Haven't seen too many of those errors.
Yeah, it's like he wasn't expecting Paris to go at him. Now that she was diagonal from right. She surprised him going to that inside foot. Yeah, that's a great job by Newman moving in.
I'd love to see a timeout here from Wright and Tioni, but we don't, and
Yeah,
it's
I'm
a
surprised.
game point.
Very surprised
for
after
Todd
being
and
up
Newman.
10-7.
Yeah, it just seems like these last couple rallies had some errors. Oh, that's tough. That's going out, but he puts it right at Newman, so there's nothing he can do about it.
So hard to get out of the way of that ball. You're just hoping to get you were expecting the ball to be low at your feet, and you're just hoping to get a paddle on it.
Second game point here, though.
Yeah,
Oh,
Newman
that
trying to go off speed,
backhand.
trying to drop it, but he just kind of hung it, allowed Wright to be more
Watch
aggressive
this
with
shot
that
from
ball.
her. I mean,
Yeah.
it's not like a flat follow through. She just flicks that
Right.
wrist and brings that backhand over. That was very impressive. Oh, so they fight off the 2 game points, and
Tied it
now
up.
they've tied it back up at 11. This is absolutely anybody's first game here.
Yeah, Todd was sliding back on that Todd trying to call off Newman. They were going to switch, but the serve was so tough that you'll see that sometimes when the serve is really tough, they'll call off the poach because it just takes so long to get across.
5-11-1.
And now a game point for Wright and Tioni. And I think Todd and Newman are out of timeouts. I think both of the ones we've seen have been
I
theirs.
think you're right.
So they gotta stay in this regardless. Nice. Oh, good first dig there from Etta Wright, but cannot get the second one. But they are in a good position here. They do still have those timeouts. If they can't hang on here, still like to see them not leave those
Yeah, you can't
unused.
roll them over. We're just going back and forth, game point to game point. Each team having opportunities here.
12-12-1.
Oh, wow.
Second server.
I am very much looking forward to seeing Etta Wright, hopefully more and more on the pro scene.
Yeah, great player. I had a chance to see her out in Mesa. I was very impressed with her game. Obviously, it was very, very clear she had a tennis background from the get-go, the way she rips those two-handed backhands. And yeah, I'd love to see her play some more. I mean, she's a great player.
Again, no timeout here, which wow. So it is Paris, Todd, and Alex Newman who finally get it done here. Oh, there was a foot fault on Newman that didn't get called in that rally. Ooh, that's tough. I mean, didn't get called. No one seemed to see it, so we'll take a short break here and back with game number 2 in this quarterfinal matchup right after this.
If you like to dink, then Pickleball Magazine has what you're looking for. Our bi-monthly print publication will help you become a better player with instructional tips, drills, and articles from the top teaching pros in the sport. And you'll become a healthier, stronger player with psychological, nutritional, and wellness advice from experts in their fields. Finally, if it's product reviews or the latest news, we have that too. To learn more or to subscribe today, go to pickleballmagazine.com.
If SoCal has you wondering, where do I begin? Start here. Cheering for the visiting team? Here's your line of scrimmage. Come for a culinary odyssey? Tonight's special is everything. Here for work? Hang around for the weekend. Hit 3 theme parks. Crush coffees or crafty beers or whatever strikes your fancy. Because with friendly locals, Main Street vibes, easy accommodations, and all of SoCal within reach, no matter what you've come to get up to, in El Segundo, we'll invite you to start here.
Welcome back to Southern California here for the APP SoCal Classic at Bobby Riggs Tennis and Racket Center. Lauren McLaughlin and Danielle Roditi here in the booth for our Pro Mixed Doubles Day. We are in a quarterfinal matchup. Paris Todd and Alex Newman now on the far end. They squeak out game 1, which was a very exciting game 1. 14-12 over Etta Wright in the white and Pesa Tioni in the red. Be interesting to see if it's just as close in the second game or if one team can kind of dominate. Every game totally different. pass doesn't matter. Can have totally different results, so we'll see how this second game plays out here. But really great play in game 1.
0-2. Side out.
Yeah, we have Paris's parents in the stands. They're here for the summer kind of set of tournaments. They live in Florida. Here supporting Paris. Trying to go for the little
Good
flick
attempt.
there. Yeah.
Yep, Paris Todd, originally from Newport Beach, California, though, so this is
Yep.
her home turf. I'm sure it's nice to be back in SoCal for a while. Her father, also her coach, was for tennis as well.
Point. One, 0-2. Point. Two, 0-2. Point.
Good spin serve by Newman there.
3-0-2.
He's got a couple different setups. Oh. Yeah,
Interesting. Tioni on that left side, since he's the lefty, you don't see it's an opposite stack there, so 2 backhands in the middle.
0-3-1.
Oh boy.
a lot of spin.
Football, let's go.
Ooh, all right. I'm gonna.
He's
football
gotten
here
called
on Newman.
twice
Yep,
and one that didn't get
and-
called, so
yep.
he's got to be careful there on that line.
John Friesner is our USA Pickleball Certified referee for this match.
Oh, great serve.
Yeah, and just dies as it hits the court.
Two, 3-1.
Even when they kind of get into rallies at the net, they're not slow, methodical dink rallies. It's a quick, aggressive
Yeah.
dinking and like play at the net from both these teams. It's definitely not a calmness for sure. Oh, that is so tough. Ada Wright did so much great work in that rally. Had some amazing shots, and just that final one,
Yeah,
got
just
a little
couldn't
too much.
quite close her paddle face. Her paddle face was a little open on that. Ball sailed. And now opposite. Dumps it into the net. I don't know if she was thinking about that last forehand and trying to make an adjustment and just overcorrected.
4-2-1.
Ooh, did he get established?
That was close. That was very close.
Either way.
Let's see.
Oh, yeah, he
Yeah,
was outside
yeah,
the kitchen
yeah,
that
he
whole
lifted,
time.
He
That
lifted,
was a really great
lifted
job.
his left foot there over the corner.
Ooh, but Tioni grabs that line. Great finish to that rally.
4-2-2.
Clarification, make sure everyone's in the right spot.
Great get.
Side out.
So a lot of times new partnerships take a while, to kind of flush out a good rhythm, who's doing what. Seems like Newman and Todd seem to be just a little unsettled still in kind of who's taking what,
Right.
especially in the middle,
Yeah.
kind of where Newman's going to be or not be.
Yeah, I think it's always tougher on the ladies because they're kind of playing off of their partner. I think mix is always tougher on the ladies. They know they're going to be targeted, but then they also are unsure how aggressive is my partner going to be. And we've seen a couple times Paris was ready, Alex going for it, then letting it go, and she was ready for that ball.
Ooh.
Trying to go for the misdirect there, trying to kind of cut that ball inside out. It's a tough ball to hit, an inside out backhand cut like that.
4-4-2.
And we're tied at 4 here in game 2. Looks like it's going to be a bit of a battle again.
Yeah, she's
Just
sitting on
so
that
good.
backhand. She's one of those times that you don't want to be targeting the backhand on a player. Etta's just sitting on those backhands ready and probably sees that a lot. You know, probably gets, a lot of times people think, okay, we got to attack the backhand, but sometimes players have a better backhand than a forehand, and it takes opponents a little bit of time to figure that out or realize that.
Yeah. We're going to have a timeout here from Todd and Newman. Interesting. You're a high-level tennis player as well. I did not play, college chess. I play it for fun. Do you think there's mom and dad?
Yep.
They're Paris's parents. But do you think playing high-level tennis sort of allows your brain to work quicker in those really quick volleys? Because I look at that and I'm like, how did she even
Right.
how did she even get two hands on that backhand
Right.
and then hit it so perfectly? It's like their brains just work faster and they already know what's coming. Does that high-level tennis accentuate that, or are these pros just they're good at reading what's happening?
I think it's both. I think tennis definitely prepares you, as do probably other, racquetball moves really fast, but it's a different swing,
Yep.
and so you have to make that adjustment. Obviously, table tennis, very quick, but also a different swing. So I think both of those things really help, is anticipation.
That's just so crucial because it just happens so fast. Nice job, Etta off the fences.
Yeah, good job by Todd letting that ball go. I would have swung at it and hit it out.
4-5-1.
Oh, wow.
Again, that one's going into the back fence.
You got to
but
let that go, Alex.
you got to get his body out of the way.
Exactly.
Second service.
That was hit really hard. Teone
That
can
was the
generate
line
so much
drive.
pace.
Oh, yeah. See, there's that sort of miscommunication.
Right.
I think Newman doesn't really know what he's doing yet, very confidently at least. It's kind of like if you're going to make a decision, you got to commit to it fully.
Right, and it almost looked like he thought the ball was going to be a little closer to the middle, and instead it was pretty wide. He looked hesitant. Just missing wide. He saw the open court there, just overdid it. One thing I'm curious to ask Alex about is he came to train at my club yesterday or the day before, and he had a half cast on his foot, like a soft cast.
Interesting.
So I don't know if he's got a foot injury on his right foot that he's dealing with, which obviously is going to limit mobility.
Some really,
That's good.
Great gets, but
Not that he's not moving well, he's moving
Yeah,
great, but
yeah.
I just wonder if there's a little bit of adjustment there. Sometimes when you're coming out of an injury, you try to compensate, you don't move as confidently as you would otherwise.
oh, nice ATP there from Etta Wright. Great
Yeah, we see the
patience.
reverse stack, and I think sometimes you do that because you prefer the matchup of your partner, your women's partner, cross-court diagonal from your opponent's women's partner, and so sometimes you will see that with a lefty-righty. They will reverse stack for that reason, or with a righty-righty.
Sure.
You're looking for matchups. You're looking to see what's working. If you're having luck diagonal, or if you're having more luck straight ahead. And Newman kind of stumbled there.
And there's that reverse stack again from
Yep.
Wright and Tioni.
Yeah, ball's in.
Nice. As I mentioned, this is a quarterfinal matchup. Our other quarterfinals are set. Lee Whitwell and J.W. Johnson will take on Anna Bright and James Ignatowicz. Lacey Schneeman and Zach Taylor
Yep.
will take on Lauren Stratman and Julian Arnold.
They took out Young and Maggie Brasha in the second round, which was...
Yeah, we have some unexpected quarterfinal matchups here today. And then we have Sierra Gayton Leach and Chuck Taylor taking out Mary Brasha
Yep.
and Rob Cassidy to get into the quarterfinals against Georgia Johnson and Dylan Frazier. So some maybe unexpected results here going into the quarterfinals. Makes it very exciting.
Oh, it's beautiful. So Todd returns a favor that Wright just hit an ATP a couple points ago, and now Todd with the same answer here on an ATP. Beautiful.
Yeah, her fundamentals are just so solid. She's just gotten so good so quickly coming over from tennis.
Yeah, good job. Yeah, Paris has really been so I started working with Paris about a month ago in her singles. We strictly work on single stuff, but I know she's working hard on her doubles game because that is, you know, she's a great doubles player, of course, but she's certainly better at singles. So the dink game and just getting really comfortable in that kitchen has become a focus for her. That's part of the reason also that she decided not to play singles. She really wanted to focus on her doubles for this tournament. And it's paying off. She's doing great.
Newman's really rocking that kind of aggressive lob serve.
Yeah.
With a lot of top spin. You could see it got Etta Wright on the previous serve. So Wright and Tioni were out in front again here in game 2, but they've lost that lead now.
Yeah, good job. And I'm wondering if the reverse stack was initiated by Etta. If she's not used to playing with a lefty, that means she's usually dinking from that right side, right? Comfortable going cross-court forehand to the opposing women's player. Another ATP, yeah, just too wide with that one. It also puts her backhand in the middle. We've seen how deadly that backhand is. And so that might be the reason that they decided to do that. It's still a very close game, though.
Yeah, I have to suspect that you're spot on. Usually you don't see a lefty on that left side unless the other player is more comfortable on that the other side.
Yep. Yeah, heard Mary Brasha coming off the court with Rob Cassidy. Of course, Rob Cassidy also a lefty, and I asked her how it went. She said, you know, I'm just not as comfortable on that left side.
Yeah.
I'm just so used to playing the right side in mixed, going diagonal with
that's
the women's.
You know, women are almost exclusively on that right side in mixed until you throw lefties into the mix.
Right.
So
they get comfortable.
That makes total sense.
They get comfortable dinking with their forehand cross court, and so when they have a different setup, it just, again, another adjustment that you have to make. And some make it better than others, and unless you're playing with a lefty on a consistent basis, that is a adjustment that has to be made.
And again, yeah, if you have, a regular partner that's a lefty,
Right.
then sure, you're used to that. You can maybe switch back and forth. But
Yep.
coming up next here on Championship Court at the SoCal Classic, we are going to have that Lacey Schneeman and Zach Taylor taking on Lauren Stratman and Julian Arnold quarterfinal matchup. So that one is coming up next. This should be very exciting. I'm not sure that I've seen Lacey or Zach play.
Great players. I've actually played Zach just some local tournaments recently, the last couple weeks, in some Orange County tournaments, and he is really, really improving. It'll be fun to watch.
All right, let's see if we are going to a game 3 here first, though. Or if Todd and Newman can secure their place in the semis in 2.
8-9-1. Take a server.
And see Newman kind of tosses that ball across his body when he does that spin. So that spin is kind of high when he hits it. I'm curious if he's going to get any kind of warning by the ref. That's a pretty high
Point
strike.
of contact.
Yes, yeah. I mean, not saying it's illegal, but it's very close.
He wouldn't be the first pro with a
Take a server.
that looks a little iffy
Yeah.
serve.
And you know what? You do it until you get warned.
Yep,
Because if it's an advantage,
absolutely.
why not do it? Oh,
Oh, does
actually,
that count?
that should have been a fault.
Yeah,
That should have
struck
been a
it.
fault. He
Yeah.
should have. He has to let that toss drop, hit the ground. He cannot touch it with his paddle, or it could be considered
Could he
a
catch
serve
it
attempt.
in the air?
He could catch it.
But as long
I think
as
you
his
can
paddle touches it and it's a serve
exactly, and that's why he paused.
attempt. Yep. I think he was waiting to see if he was going to get the call. Nice.
Yeah, I think he was
angle
expecting
there.
the call and then he served before the referee had an opportunity to notice that.
8-9-2. Point.
I mean, I wouldn't mind a game 3 myself. This has been a
This has been fun to
really
watch.
fun match.
Well, they switch back. Oh, the lead court. Sorry,
and the thing
not
is,
sorry.
She has so much power on that. That's what lets that come over.
Yeah.
Because she
The
just
top spin.
rocks us. And look how far back she was.
Yep. And that little bit of topspin just makes that ball roll.
Okay, so now they've gone back to a traditional stack with Tioni on that right side with the 2 forehands in the middle.
Yeah, there's an example of Paris just being off the line, and then it allows Alex to move in. However, it also makes it easier for Etta to dink up that line straight ahead at Paris and not feel like she runs the risk of hanging that dink. And that just misses wide. We do have a little bit of wind kind of picking up a little bit
yeah.
here.
Anytime you're close to the ocean like we are here, gonna get that little ocean breeze. And it's definitely blowing a little bit harder right now.
Side out.
Man, everyone's getting real loud now.
Yep.
Again, I'll be interested to see if Wright and Tioni, they haven't used a single timeout this entire match.
I'm very surprised.
Oh boy. And again, we're getting into use it territory. Ooh, that time, little net cord does not help out.
Yep.
Etta Wright sails that long.
It's the other thing it allows you to do if you're a little bit off the line is identifying the out balls a little bit easier. You have a little more time. No.
Oh, nice leave there from
Yeah,
Tioni.
that was. He was way too stretched out to try that shot. He should have just stayed patient, dinked that ball, wait for a better one. Of course, easy for me to say, standing here under the tent.
Exactly. Yeah, Newman sometimes, his style of play currently is a little frantic to me. He's just he's not grounded and settled, which, he's a young player. He's fairly new to the game, so not unexpected, but I think if he's able to ground himself a little bit more, that'll ultimately be beneficial for his game in the long run.
A good comparison is Julian Arnold. I worked with Julian for a little while when he was getting serious about pickleball. I'll wait till after this point.
This is a game point here for Wright and Tioni to push it to 3. Oh, wow.
Oh, wow. Great defense.
Ooh, I kind of wanted Wright to come in and take that ball.
Yes.
I wanted her to come over
I think
and take that forehand
I think
put
she
away.
might have thought that Tioni was closer to that line and was going to have an easy put away, but by the time he got there, the ball had dropped quite a bit. But you're right. She could have easily taken that ball. But again, it's tougher on the women, right? They have to kind of go off their partner of what he's doing.
You don't wanna,
it's always challenging.
into each
other. Or take a ball that maybe would have been easier for him, and so it's much more challenging on the women.
Wow, some nice gets there from Wright. Ooh,
Todd sitting on it, but the paddle's just open. She just couldn't quite close that paddle face. Was a little late on it.
Sometimes your brain is ahead of your body.
Yep.
She knows exactly what she's doing, and then the body is just a hair behind doing what it needs to do. Oh, those are tough. Newman's hitting those so low. You wonder if they're going to go out.
Well, you said, I wonder if we're going to get a close second game, and
We are
I think
indeed.
our answer is right. Oh.
Oh, I know.
Okay.
I was like, is she okay?
Gosh, I was a little worried.
I know.
She took a little
and
bit
Wright,
of
like crumpled onto the court.
She took a little bit of a kind of a weird step, like 2 points ago, and I didn't know if it was an ankle.
Ooh,
if
I
it
think
was,
she's
is it cramping?
Maybe.
Yeah, it's it does get pretty humid.
Oh, yeah.
And it can be, and this is their third match, is that right?
Yes, I believe it is. Yes. Oh no.
Shoot.
Oh, she's got a little massage pistol. She's busting
Yeah,
out.
she needs salt pills. She needs apple cider vinegar. She needs pickle juice. All that kind of stuff. It's just
pickle juice, some mustard.
Yeah, unfortunately, that gun isn't going to do that much. You need salt in your body. Losing too much water too quickly.
If it's a cramp or if it's just kind of if she maybe
Tight?
tweaked.
Maybe
yeah,
tight.
she maybe tweaked a muscle.
Okay,
It
maybe
doesn't
so.
necessarily look cramping because I feel like when someone's cramping,
Yeah.
it's very. So. All right, so
Yep.
Tioni
says it's a cramp.
A little cramp. And there is Lauren Stratman and Julian Arnold right there under the umbrella.
I was
waiting.
saying Newman reminds me a little bit of Arnold. Arnold just got into pickleball seriously in the last 6 months to a year. And when we started working together, his speed almost worked against him because he was so quick on the court that he would overrun so many balls. And that's what I see a little bit with Newman, trying to find kind of a rhythm. He's a little, as you said, he's a little frantic. I think obviously he's going to adjust, but
Sure.
Especially in mix when you're trying to cover so much court, that was something that Arnold had to work on, and just not being so frantic and just slowing himself down, not letting his speed actually work against him, because a lot of times it was kind of easy to go behind Julian because he was moving so
Yeah,
quickly one
yeah.
way that you just hit the ball the other way and it's hard to recover. So that'd be something that I think Newman will be working on in his doubles game, and also coming from
absolutely.
singles.
All right, so we are getting word that we're going to have a medical timeout here.
Okay.
So that is up to 15 minutes. I don't know if Wright will need that entire 15 minutes, but we are into a medical timeout officially. We're going to take a short break here on Championship Court, but we will be back into the action as soon as we are able to. Don't go anywhere. Back after this. The APP SoCal Classic is brought to you by Pickleball Central, the Pickleball Superstore, catering from beginners to pros. Yola, for the champion in you. SunMed, the official CBD sponsor of the APP. And Chavile, modern pickleball apparel that reminds people to be civil and play nicely. Welcome back, everyone, to the APP SoCal Classic here at Bobby Riggs. Lauren McLaughlin and Daniel Roditi. We have a couple minutes still remaining in this medical timeout that we had here at the almost conclusion of this second game here in this quarterfinal mixed pro doubles matchup. So Etta Wright was having some cramping in that left leg, so we had Brent, our Cora physical therapy gentleman, out here doing a little work with her. She is back up and moving around now, getting a little warmed up. So I know you also said you spoke to Alex about that possible foot situation that you mentioned earlier.
Yeah. So I saw him he came to train at Nellie Gale yesterday, day before, and he had a soft cast, and I hadn't actually even met him, so I didn't talk to him there, but I asked him about it. He said he thought he had a fracture in his foot. He had a lot of pain. Turns out he had a deformity at birth on his foot, like a bone that now that he can put like pads in his shoes.
Okay.
Just to limit the pain, but it does cause some pain, but it's not, fortunately it's not a fracture. It's just something he's got to learn to kind of adjust to and just put some insoles in his shoes. Certainly you can't tell by the way he moves. He's so fast and moving great, but he said that sometimes there's a little bit of a pain.
Gotcha. So,
11-11, second
all right,
serve.
we're getting back into the action. Speaking of Alex Newman, he will be kicking us back into the action here. It is 11-11-2. Wright and Tioni need to win the second game to try and push a third game. Coming off of this medical timeout, a big, momentum killer for both teams. Now Etta Wright is dealing with a little like, ooh, I have to be a little more careful in my movement. Is that going to hurt them here?
Yeah, I think it's trying to get back into it as quickly as possible, right? Because it's not like it's 1-1. We're so close to finishing the second game. Mm-hmm. Every point is so crucial, and I think it just requires you have to focus even more. And for Etta, just try to put the cramping out of her mind as much as she possibly can, unless she's obviously in pain. But
yeah, cramping's so tough because you don't want to move a certain way that's going to cause something to grab. Oh, another
it just hammers that ball.
There. My goodness.
Yeah, unfortunately, I have plenty of experience with cramping. I thought
you were going to say plenty of experience getting hit with,
that
with
too.
shots like that.
Yeah, all of those. Hitting out balls, getting hit, cramping, falling,
yes.
Getting injured, getting beat. I like the attempt by Todd to slow it down. She's just leaning too far back on that third, back on her heels. Leaves it short.
Second server. 11-11-2.
Ooh,
go for
Newman
the body shot
actually
again.
gets
Yeah.
out of the way of that.
Yeah.
Maybe for the first time.
After you get hit a couple times, you start making some adjustments.
It drops in. Looks like Newman and Todd don't know
Yeah.
confidently enough to make
Can't
that
call it
call.
out
So
unless you see it. Saw Etta, there was a couple backhands there that we've seen her rip with two hands. That this time she opted to kind of just slice with one hand. I would have liked to see her go for a little more. I think she played that a little too conservative. That's a great deep return.
So, a little anticlimactic finish to this match, but Paris Todd and Alex Newman come out on top, 13-11.
Look at those scores.
After 14-12 in the first. So what a match. Hopefully Etta Wright can kind of keep recovering and work on that cramping issue as they are still alive. They'll drop into our consolation bracket. But we will go ahead and take a short break back into our Franklin studio with our winners and back with another quarterfinal match right after this. Welcome back, everyone, to the Franklin studio. Lauren McLaughlin here with Paris Todd and Alex Newman, who are heading to the semis. This is the first time playing together for you two. I could tell maybe every once in a while that it was a first-time partnership, but I think overall a success so far. You, ma'am, miss, excuse me, I'm more ma'am, you're miss. I'm sorry, I'm so sorry. You have been on a tear. Last 4 tournaments you've played in, singles gold medal, and killing it in doubles. Team 1 MLP. You're not playing singles this tournament, though. What's the thought process behind just taking a little break on the singles game?
Yeah, this is I think my 8th week in a row of tournaments, and I've done almost 3 events at every tournament, so I'm just giving my body a little bit of a rest, but also trying to focus a little bit more on doubles and really making sure my body's 100% for that, and I get to play with this guy, so it's not bad.
Yeah, he's okay. He's all right. Alex, in a new partnership, you got things to work on. You got some chemistry to build. Do you feel like you guys coming into this weekend had a particular game plan, or what was the strategy to make sure you guys had a successful partnership?
This is my second ever mixed doubles tournament, and my first ever mixed doubles win was this morning, so I don't think I had too much of a strategy. I was trying to get as many balls as possible to Paris, and when I got a high forehand, hit it hard, and it worked okay. So
basically you have been carrying him is what you're saying.
My back hurts really bad. I'm doing a lot of coaching today.
I mean, you got to hit the weights. So I didn't know it was only your second ever. So are you just trying to really work on the doubles game a lot more? You obviously played singles a lot more. So just trying to crush that doubles game?
Yeah, I only started playing singles like 4 or 5 months ago, and then I haven't really played much doubles, and I want to play more than 1 event per tournament, or I get pretty lonely out here. So I'm trying to get good enough so I can at least play doubles every weekend and have some fun.
Alex wants to make friends. He's trying to make friends in the doubles.
Any friends out there want to play with me? Any level, I'll play.
I love it. Well, congrats, guys. We'll see you in the semis. So hopefully the rest of your day is successful as well. But don't go anywhere. Another quarterfinal match here in Mixed Pro Doubles at the APP SoCal Classic right after this.